You get to pick your son's wife's body count. What is that number? Bam, right here.
All right, 30.
Okay.
What?
Your son's wife's body count?
How old is he?
He's 35. He's a multimillionaire, successful.
Oh, no.
How old is the wife? How old is she?
You can tell me the age and what the body count should be. Go ahead. Shoot.
Wait, he's 35?
He's 35, multimillionaire, successful.
Okay.
What should his wife's body count be? And let's say she's 22.
She's 22.
Or 25. Let's say 25. Because men want women that are younger. Let's keep it real. No one wants a 35-year-old woman. Go ahead.
Okay. She's 25.
They don't want somebody that looks 35.
Bro, like it's men want youth and beauty. Like, is this fucking news for people?
They look. Why you think people value their youth? Like, it's their looks.
You know, and the only difference between a nigga that's a multimillionaire and a regular guy is a multimillionaire could put his foot down and say, yeah, I want young bitches, suck my dick, I got fuck you money. That's the difference.
That's still a small percentage, but that's cool.
Yeah, but that's what the percentage that women are chasing after. So anyway, your son, multimillionaire, 35 years old, 25-year-old chick. What's her body count?
30.
You want it to be 30? Okay.
I mean, I don't see a problem.
Okay. What about you? Your son?
I would say 5 to 10. She needs to know how to please him, you know?
Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
As many as it's needed to keep him satisfied. It could be either 1, 2, or whatever. It's really, as long as you're
the
sexually
mom.
satisfied.
He's a somebody.
I want him to be sexually satisfied. I don't want to think about that, but as long as you're happy intimately, it doesn't matter.
Okay. Dollface? What's this girl's got a body count? What do you want it to be?
It can't be no more than 2 hands.
Okay.
So
I would say like under like 20.
Okay.
Yeah, 5 to 10. She needs some experience with my son.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I feel like whatever my son is okay with.
Yeah.
Right.
But like,
All right.
I don't care.
As long as he's safe.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
And she's safe.
Wow. This is crazy. Okay. What about you? What do you want his wife's body count? He has a lot to lose. What do you want her body count to be?
How old is she again? You said 25?
25.
Under 10.
Under 10. Okay. On the couch?
Same.
Same?
10?
10. Okay.
Under
10.
yeah.
Under 10.
For
Okay.
that age, yeah.
Under
Okay.
10.
Ms. Drake?
2 to 4.
2 to
for
4?
Virgin if possible. Like realistically. I mean,
Wow.
like, shit, I got virgin friends. Like I do. I know several girls that are
I do
virgins.
too.
Period. Shout out Virgin.
You know what I mean? I
friends.
think we all know girls that are still virgins. It's like,
Okay.
is it for reasons? Like, oh,
Okay. And then what about you?
Yeah. Under
Okay.
10.
Under 10. I will say this. As much as you guys may hate Drake, she is actually on the money. And the reason why is because we actually did an episode on this on female promiscuity in regards to relationships and marriage. We found that the magic number tends to be after 6 partners, there's an increase in divorces and breakups. So if you want your son to have a happier, longer term marriage, under 6 has a higher likelihood of success. Does that mean if a girl has a 10 body count, she's not going to be marriage material? I'm not saying that, but she does have a higher propensity to initiate divorce.
What?
Yes.
Wait. So
I don't.
because she knows what she likes. So
I could see that.
yeah,
but women do
Well,
initiate divorce a lot more.
To be
Yeah, they
fair,
initiate 80% of
Yeah.
divorces.
if you had multiple partners, right, some may not measure up, if you know what I mean, in that manner.
Mhm.
And you might start to miss those
Yeah.
partners or miss what you don't have. And
Right.
you might wonder, say, you know what, this guy's cool and all, but like he ain't measuring up. I'm gonna go somewhere else.
yeah.
And you'll
That makes
your
sense.
priorities will be fucked up. You'll prioritize sexual satisfaction over a man that is dutiful and takes care of you and the children. This is why so many nice guys get divorced. You
That's
know?
true.
Yeah, facts.
No,
So-
no,
Wait,
no,
can I
wait,
ask
Can I say
something?
something? Okay, I'll let
Well,
whoever.
I think
Who was that?
Whoever
Oh, I
else
don't
wants
care
to
who
say
goes first. It's okay.
Okay,
I
Drake.
was pretty much just gonna say, oh Jesus, I'm a break now.
Yep.
I'm gonna make
Never
my
mind.
son that now. Basically all I'm saying is like I think the majority of women want divorces because like society sets women up to have these very extremely high expectations for divorce. You know, at the end of the day, like most women think like marriage is gonna be this like fairyland, like
Yeah.
la la la, butterflies, fairies, and it's like, you know, it's a duty, it's a job at the end of the day. So that's pretty much why there's so
true.
much divorce. You know, at the end of the day, like that's why. You
yeah,
know?
I think we lie to women and tell them there's a couple reasons. Number one, we tell them they can do better, and we tell them that they're pretty no matter how they really look. A lot of girls
Well,
have an overinflated sense of self-worth. Go ahead.
that's good and all, but I just think that, you know, it also applies to men. Like men aren't really doing in today's society, they're not coming from a place of masculinity
Yeah,
in
I
the
agree.
situations. They're not
I agree.
taking, because at the end of the day, like I'm a woman, right? I am.
I hope so.
I'm shit. I'm designed to be selfish, not selfless. You're a man. You're designed to be selfless. You're designed to give yourself up for for yourself, for a family, for your like literally for like if you marry me, right? If we get in an altercation, you got to protect me no matter what the situation is. You protect me, you protect you. Men can give themselves up for country, family, women, their religion, whatever. Men are designed to be selfless at the end of the day. So, if you're in a situation like marriage, it's like, yeah, maybe it doesn't benefit men that much, but I would say like tough shit. You're a man. Get your shit together,
Marriage actually has like no benefits for men at all.
Yeah, but I would say like I don't care. Like you're a man. That's your duty. That's how you add and provide value to society. That's how you add and provide.
A lot of guys get bullied into marriage. Yes.
I'm not being a dick about it, but I'm just saying like you're a man. Yeah. Like it sucks. I would never I would never want to be a man, but that's your duty to provide marriage to a woman that's of value. I'm not saying you have to like marry one of these girls that are out here twerking to Cardi B WAP in front of an Olive Garden or anything, but I am saying that it's like it's your duty in order to further society.
Yeah. So question for you, since you're obviously very aware of the risks that men take in marriage, right, and knowing that 80% of the divorce initiated by women, men lose half their money, alimony 90% of it is paid from men to women, and there's a higher than 95% chance you're not going to see your children because women overwhelmingly win child custody battles. Is it fair for a guy to want to date a girl that doesn't have that much of a past to mitigate risk?
No, I would say,
wouldn't that be smart?
Like for one, if it was my son, no, I don't want him to date a woman that has like a ridiculous, weird past where she's like thinks Cardi B is a cool person and she's like, oh, I'm doing this. Like, look, but whatever. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying like that's one. No, you don't as a man deserve that. But I am saying at the same time, it's like that's your role. That's your job. That's that's your job as a man. Yeah. Okay. Like I can't sit here and tell you like, okay, yeah. Also the marriage rates, like if you're gonna come here and say like, oh, 50% of people get divorced. That's not true. That's very much like I'm not trying to get myself canceled, but that's a specific media, right? That's feeding you this information that wants you to believe that because they don't want you to get married. Because when you get married, you are, making a strong marriage is a very good thing. So I hope that on this podcast, if you're talking to these men, I really hope that you're telling them to aspire to marriage.
Hell no. We tell them don't get married.
Exactly. But you're feeding into like a very feminist, like, way of thinking.
Here's the thing.
It's very manipulated.
But here's the thing. If I told you, right, I get what you're saying, because you're obviously speaking from the female perspective. Marriage benefits women. Cool. Fantastic.
No, I'm not. But I'm just saying that as a man, like if you are like, oh, I don't want marriage at all. It's like, you're actually thinking from a feminine perspective. You're being selfish.
Well, here's the thing. Like, guys have to be nowadays. That's what I'm trying to say. The marketplace has changed. The dating marketplace has changed. If I told you that you jump out of a plane and there's a 90% chance your parachute is going to not deploy, would you jump out the plane?
No, of course not.
Okay, so why would I tell a guy to go and get married when you're signing a contract with someone that is 100% incentivized to break that contract? Because they get all the benefits.
Yeah, but I would say that at the end of the day, like, you're a man, you have to contribute to society. Like, at the end of the day, you do have
to. How does
me being married contribute to society?
I don't know about that. I don't know about whatever.
Because here's the thing. I get it. Like in an optimal world, trust me, I believe in a nuclear family and marriage.
I believe in a nuclear family. I think that's the way to move forward. And I think that
the nuclear family is required for society to be successful.
But you're telling men not to aspire to that. And it's like, I understand it when you have girls out here that are like showing their ass cracks on Instagram. Exactly. It's like you have a video of them showing their literal like, there's some comedian calls it a fried butterfly, like to show your like literally like asshole right on Instagram, which is like, it's disgusting, right?
Okay, here's the thing. Let's say I own a pizza shop, right?
Yeah.
And I got a bunch of guys that are fantastic fucking pizza makers. Mm-hmm. However, all the dough is bad.
Yeah.
Would it be responsible for me to tell them to go ahead and make that pizza and spin that fucking dough anyway and sell it to customers?
No. I get where you're coming from, but all the dough isn't bad. Like it's not.
Hold on. A majority of the dough is bad. And it's a hit or miss if the dough is gonna fucking give our clients stomach virus or salmonella.
No, I see it.
See what I'm saying?
Where you're coming from. And no, I do. But I'm just saying, like, also, like, where are men looking for women? It's like the majority.
That doesn't change anything.
It does change things
because there are women out there that. Like here's the thing. The way you're speaking right now, congratulations, you have a good head on your shoulders. 99% of women don't agree with you on that. That's what I'm trying to tell you. They want to go ahead and be feminist. They want to chase their career. They want to make money.
So I'm trying to be like kind of quiet.
Okay, well, hold on. Let's peel the layer back. Let's use a little bit of common sense.
Yeah.
Why are you scared of being canceled? Think about that for a second.
I know exactly why, and it's like I run a woman-run business. I sell things to women.
Okay, you're missing the point. The reason why you're saying I don't want to get canceled is because saying I want a nuclear family and relationships are better together with men and women is considered controversial now.
No,
we're in a clown world.
because the current society wants men to be women and they want women to be men.
Exactly.
Even a lot of things. I'm not gonna lie to you. I agree with some of the stuff. Like I checked out your podcast before I came on. Obviously, I'm not gonna come on, and just be here with a man that's like truly misogynistic. I watched your stuff. I was like, oh, he's not that misogynistic. He has some of the same values.
Wait, that
right?
That.
Okay. So I came on. And I was like, okay, this is fine. But at the end of the day, like
Thanks.
even you, who maybe some people would consider misogynistic. I think you're a little bit. Again, I'm not trying to get canceled, but I think you have some feminist views that I don't agree with. I'm very, very, very strict in my views.
I tell guys to get married, but not with the state involved if they're going to get married or leave the United States.
Yeah, that's what but okay, the thing is like, I've been in a relationship in the past that why was I in it? Because I wanted children. I wasn't in it because I wanted a marriage. I want children. Marriage is something that's going to benefit my children, right?
Yeah.
So I'm in it and it's like, okay, it didn't work out. My next relationship, I'm still.
Who initiated the divorce?
The divorce?
Who initiated the divorce? You said it didn't work out.
My partner, because they weren't ready to have children.
Okay,
honestly.
he didn't want kids. Okay.
He was going back and forth and he just wasn't like sometimes he wanted it, sometimes he felt unsure. I think majority of the men in today's society, and that's what I was kind of worried about. I was like, okay, this is a men's podcast. You're speaking to a lot of men, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of why I came on here because I was like, I really hope that you're telling men to aspire to marriage in certain respects, and I really hope you're telling them to have a nuclear family. Because if you're telling them,
families are the backbone of a strong society.
Yes.
However,
I know,
you cannot
I
have a nuclear family and sign a contract with someone that's incentivized
with
to break it,
people.
that can take your money.
I understand.
So I tell them, if you're going to get married, you can't get married with the state involved. And unfortunately, in the United States, it's almost impossible to do that. Therefore, you must either leave the country or get married in a way where the state is not involved. I'm not against marriage. I'm against marriage the way it's done today because it has a high failure rate. And the woman that you're going to marry more than likely has some kind of indoctrination and feminist views that she's going to go ahead and she can fuck you up at any time. So I'm speaking from a risk mitigation standpoint because men take all the risk when they get married.
That's pretty much the only reason I'm here is because I was really concerned that you were telling men to not aspire to marriage. And I think that's the only way that we have a strong society. I think that when you say 50 to 60% of marriages end in divorce, that's not true. That's, liberal standpoint that people are feeding you that. Why do they want to feed you that? Because they want to break down the family. So it's like you come from a perspective of like, if you really look at it, the majority of families, if there's a real divorce, it's like
it's feminism that destroyed families.
But yes, 100%. And I agree with you, but for majority of the time, like 50% divorce rate, that's in like very poor minority-based communities. And that does not make up the majority of marriage. Okay, so it's like you have a 25-year-old person that gets married and they have a college degree and they're well educated and they make a good amount of money. They're going to stay together. Okay, so marriage is a very
actually that's incorrect.
It's true.
When a woman has a college degree, it actually increases the likelihood that she's more likely to initiate divorce.
Look, you're talking to someone that dropped out of college, right?
It only works if the man is.
But I'm just telling you that this is like I'm just telling you this from a physical I'm not someone that believes in college. I dropped out of college my first year within 4 months because I was like, look, for what I want to do, like I need money.
But for
I don't
women
need to be educated. Yeah, I know. Like, dude,
but you were just saying like a college degree increase. I'm
telling you people, but what I'm saying that is from a standpoint of status. These are not people in, shit.
What, Drake?
You know what I'm.
You're missing the point.
You know where I'm coming from. I'm just saying that people, the divorce rate is not as high.
You're not articulating yourself. So let me clarify for you. The woman, you're not at all. The woman. I'm arguing if the woman has an advanced degree, or she makes money, or she's in a breadwinner position, that dramatically increases the likelihood of divorce. However, if the man is in a breadwinner situation, or he's the educated one, that increases the likelihood that divorce will go down. But it does not change the fact that divorce in itself is a very high likelihood when you get married, and it's initiated by women in general.
Okay, but I'm not talking about breadwinner situation. Like somebody that I'm saying like is a woman that's college educated. I'm not saying
she's more likely to divorce.
No, okay, yes, but I'm just telling you, I don't want to say it like in a
Okay,
I don't
but we're
get
gonna
the
move on to
point.
the
I don't
next.
get the point.
We're gonna move on to the next.
You know I'm correct.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
So
Can I say one thing? I just want to say one thing. I just want to say that
oh god.
the idea that you
Let
have.
her finish before you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
of
no, she's
course.
good. She good.
Okay,
She
sure.
good.
Okay.
Is it one thing?
Go ahead, girl.
Okay, go ahead.
It is one thing, and it's just that like you're sitting there and you're like, okay, so ideally, in your eyes, the ideal situation is a woman in her peak years, right? What does she want? She wants monogamy from the most high value man. So she does that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that doesn't work in this society. Like I'm telling you, as somebody that specifically did that, you know, when I was 18, I decided I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna find somebody I want to have, you know, a relationship with. I want to have monogamy. I want to find that high value male, and I want to have a child, right? That's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about having children.
Yeah.
So I went into that, and it's like, it's not as easy as like, I know from an idealistic perspective, that's easy to say. And it's easy to say like, oh, that's what women would do in the society if they were smart. But when you actually do that as a woman, I have done that.
Well, you're missing the big point. I said it earlier that you're not going to have a high value man to yourself. I literally said that. He's not.
No. But that's not what I'm saying. You're missing my point. When the fact is like most of those men aren't going to want children, aren't wanting to settle down. Like they want to go live that day fucking Bilzerian whatever lifestyle. They want to go be crazy, and it's like that's a very feminine lifestyle. At the end of the day, I'm not going to talk about that. It is. Shit, I can debate you if you wanted to about that. How that it's like
Please
pleasure seeking males.
tonight,
That's very feminine.
Yeah, please don't.
Whatever.
It's
I'm not
actually
going to get into it.
it's actually not feminine at all. It's
It
the
is.
reality is that very few men can actually enact on their raw sexual proclivities. Most men don't have the status and the ability to have sex with a bunch of women and have women
But look at the past.
willfully share him.
Look at like the past situations where that's happened, right? Those men aren't coming to it from a pleasure seeking where they just are like, oh, I'm just about to want to fuck these 20,000 girls. Like, no, it's a sense of duty. There's always been a sense of duty tied to men being polygamous. And in today's society, if a man's polygamous, it's not tied to a sense of duty. It's not tied to a sense of taking care of women. It's tied to his pleasure, which is a very feminine thing to see.
A lot of these high value guys have a main chick and kids with that main chick. So
and that's wonderful. And I would say like, okay, that's a good
so
that's a
that
good
duty is
situation.
fulfilled for one woman. The problem is that a lot of girls get mad because they're not that one woman. You got to be girl number one, and most women are not girl number one, and that's why they get mad.
I mean, I've been there, and it's
Agreed.
still just
Absolutely.
like, you know, there's a lot of other stuff that goes into it.
If you
been
want
in
a
that
guy,
main-
you're
I've
never
been
going to
in-
get a
I've been
high
that
value man
ma-
to yourself
that one.
sexually. Let me make that
No.
extremely clear to all the women here. You're never going to get a high value guy to yourself sexually. If he's a tall, attractive, has money, whatever, he's a high value guy that other women want, you best believe he's going to fuck other girls. Men are only as faithful as their options, period. That's
No.
just the way it goes. Women want the best, men want the most. That's
I'm
how it
not
is.
arguing that, but even men in that position, because of today's society, because there's been like 20 years, more than that, of people pushing men to be women. These men that are in that position that say they have their main chick, they're still not acting in the way that 50 years ago men would have acted in that position, where they have their main chick and they have their side girls, whatever. They do their like little thing to, you know, get their thing going, whatever. In today's society, that's not the case. Okay. You have women that are like,
Have you ever thought maybe you just weren't the main chick?
I mean, I was like, I'm gonna be real with you. I mean, you can sit there and it's like, I know it's fun because it's your podcast.
No,
but
no,
it's
no.
like,
I'm just saying. Like, have you ever
I
thought about that?
honestly was. I was like the woman that was brought home to the family. There was no other woman brought home to the family. We went on the trips. We did the things. We did all the.
Does that guy have kids now?
No,
How
he
old is he?
doesn't. He's very young. That's what I'm saying. He was 32.
So you picked him. Whose fault is that?
That's what I'm saying though. I'm coming from a place where I'm saying that I was at fault, where I picked a young gentleman who probably wasn't in the best place in his life to have children. But I am saying that a lot of men in today's society, older than that, not just, 30, that's a very young age to pick a gentleman, but it's like you have a man that's 36, 38, 37, like whatever it is, 40. There's even gentlemen that are 40 that don't want to settle down and have children because they're like in this like pleasure seeking place. And all I'm saying is that it's not rewarded in today's society. And I just think that's making us
What's not
weaker.
rewarded in particular?
Settling down and having children.
Well,
Okay?
it's a huge risk for men.
Yes, it's a huge risk, but I would just say like you're a man. Like suck it up, take the risk.
Hell no. Well, you wouldn't take the risk
Why
if
the
you
hell-
lost 50% of your money and there's a high likelihood of not seeing your kids. You wouldn't take that risk.
Hell no,
But
nigga.
you're also thinking from a feminine perspective when you say that.
No,
you are.
I'm
You're thinking
operating
about.
from a risk mitigation standpoint in response to feminism. There's a difference.
I just think
It's not the 1950s anymore. Times have changed. Women have more rights and privileges than ever before, and they make their own money.
Yes, but
As-
before
as a consequence
1950s,
of
that
that-
wasn't the case for women.
as a
Women in
consequence of that-
1930s,
okay, but
women
we're in
worked very,
2022.
very difficult, right? Okay, women were upset in the 1950s because that's why we have feminism in the first place, right? Because we have a bunch of women in the 1950s who were unhappy, and they were like, oh my God, I'm so unhappy. I need to go to work. And it's like,
Here's the
that's
thing.
not the
Look,
problem.
so this is the issue here. You're saying, yo, it should be this way, whatever, and I agree with you. But here's the problem. I don't operate on what should or could or would. I
You're
operate on what
reality.
is.
I get it.
So what is that most women don't qualify for marriage and they're not marriage material. Also on top of that, if you do find a girl that's worth marriage material, she's heavily incentivized to divorce you, take half your money, take your children, and leave you outside the marital home. We talk to guys every single day that want to kill themselves because they're going through a very tough divorce, because divorce absolutely destroys men. So it would be stupid of me to tell men to get married in today's climate, because unfortunately, the time period that you're talking about, those laws are still in effect. It used to be women are were in the workplace, that all these laws were put in place to protect women from a guy leaving her high and dry. Oh, you want to go ahead and divorce your wife and she hasn't worked and she has kids? You got to pay alimony, you got to pay child support. We're going to punish you for leaving your wife. Here's the problem, though. The laws haven't caught up with modern day society.
Okay.
So we still have 1950s law for 2022 women. So I'm saying this, until the marriage laws change and become more fair towards men, it is not in a man's best interest to get married in the United States, period. If you want to get married, you need to make sure that you get married and have children with a woman where the state is not involved.
Okay.
I'm not saying the nuclear family isn't good. I'm not saying having children is bad. I'm saying in today's day and age, as a modern day man dealing with modern day women, you cannot use 1950s technology in a 2022 gunfight.
Okay, no, that's fair. That's
Boom.
actually really good. I think that's amazing what
Awesome.
you just
All
said.
right.
Yes.
But can I just say, like, would you
Just stop chat.
Oh
Stop.
my goodness.
Come on, man.
We got more super chats?
Yes.
I mean, I'm here, I'm chilling.
No, you're fine.
Well, you guys can have a debate.
Yeah, it's-
Both of y'all can
No,
say.
But-
I don't want to fight.
You're gonna Simonis?
I'm not here to fight. I'm just.
just come
Okay.
up another night.
I get it. I'm just giving you the male perspective.
I just would hope.
That's all.
I just would hope at the end of the day, regardless of the law, I would just hope that you would tell men to find the best partner possible and to create a marriage-like situation, because at the end of the day, that's the only hope that we have for society.
All right.
So that's it. Whatever. I'm out.
All right, cool.